Mic off.
The sky isn't blue. The sky isn't blue, and water isn't blue. Sometimes the sky is red, like at dusk, and sometimes it's white when it's very cloudy. And water isn't blue either. Sometimes water is like brown. And if like someone died and there's blood, the water can also be red. So there you go. Did all that come through, Zig?
Mic on.
Yeah.
Did all that come through?
Mic off.
Oh goodness. Yes. Okay, let's do the show. Michael Jordan, play the theme.
Thalmor Radio. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thalmor Radio. Yeah, he's coming at you from the top. Oh no, no, he won't stop. Thalmor Radio. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thalmor Radio.
Thalmor Radio.
What the fuck is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Quick. How was your day today? What did you do besides school and or work? What happened to you? Nothing happened with me. I had a lazy what's it called? I had a lazy Friday. Nothing happened. But it's good. See, for me, I like Fridays a lot. And the reason why I like Fridays a lot is because it's like a day of relaxation. And like it's a day of relaxation because no one takes Friday seriously except my attorney. My attorney always seems busy all day every Friday for some reason. But for me and most other people, Friday is a day of nothing. You don't take work seriously. You don't take school seriously. Go home at 5, but like at 3 o'clock, everyone's kind of done working, And like you got all the cool shit to do Friday night. You don't got to worry about anything because you got the weekend and nothing's happening. And so everything is pretty dope. So what we're doing, and someone asked you for your number. Oh man, the subway girl is flashing me looks. Someone asked for Mr. C's number. Zig got invited to church by a girl. Like I don't know what's going on. Maybe the summer of love came a bit late, but it's happening. But anyways, I like Fridays, but I also like Fridays because like my favorite podcast releases an episode every Friday, and I do this show every Friday. So there's a lot of things I like about Fridays. But George, to Christians, like getting invited to church is like 3 steps away from like getting married. So it's very significant. But anyways, I like Fridays. So I'm a Friday guy. And also, one of my favorite Yakuza songs is Friday Night. And it's about being happy that it's Friday and going to the disco. So Fridays are excellent. But anyways, I got some stuff to talk about. And the first thing I want to talk about is my bowling experience on Saturday. The last time I went bowling, excluding last Saturday, was in like fucking 2014. Yeah, it was like 2014. It was my last day of 10th grade, right? And I was switching schools. And I was switching schools. It's going to be the last time I was going to see any of my friends at that school. And so what I did was we decided to go bowling. And we bowled. And it was fun. But that was it. So it's been 7 years since I went bowling. So I was hanging out with one of my friends on Saturday. We went into Dollar General because we was getting some drinks for that night, and I don't even remember why I got to thinking about bowling, but I did. And I was like, hey, if they're like, how late's the bowling alley opened? And we looked it up, and he couldn't look it up. He didn't have service, but I did have service because Verizon is based. And they close at midnight. So it's like, oh, fuck, we can totally do this. Our third friend wasn't available until like 9, but that was okay because going to the bowling alley after dark is really key now. So we went bowling. We played 3 games. My third friend won the first game. I won the second game. And my third friend was winning again on the third game, but the hour was up. And so the shit got canceled. And it was too late to get another hour anyway. So then we left. But it was fun. I forgot how fun bowling was. And I kept thinking of the bowling mini game in Yakuza 0 as I was doing it. And I told my friends that's what I was thinking too, and they just rolled their eyes because that was a cringe thing to say. But it was fun. I liked it. I'm gonna go again. I'm thinking of actually going again tomorrow just by myself. Like take my AirPods with me and like listen to some music or podcast as I bowl, and just practicing. That is exactly what I was thinking about. T5. If I get her Snapchat and it goes well, like I'm gonna invite her bowling after when she gets off work. I'm not a drinker, George. Like I talked about how I like bourbon, but like I haven't had any bourbon in 6 months. And what happened is I drank a little bit too much and I got just a little sick. Not like actually sick, just a little sick. I drank like 2 shots, which was like twice the amount I usually drink. And that was it. Like something about that just turned me off, and now I don't drink anymore. And I hate um I don't like beer, so I might be done drinking for now because it's been 6 months. I just have no interest. Like I only liked bourbon for the taste. I like the taste, and I just that's where I'm at. Hate B, did you ever get the turkey, and did you ever get the reward for the turkey? Because I want to know what your reaction to that was. That side quest. But bowling was fun. I liked it, and I'm going to go back because it was nice. Yeah, hate B. But bowling was nice. Okay, now let's get spooky. Um, I've talked before about how I like paranormal stuff, right? The paranormal is very interesting to me. And I particularly like cryptids because like ghosts is like, well, I'm Christian, so ghosts might just be demons, right? And like UFOs and aliens, that's a whole other thing. But I really like cryptids, like oh the fucking Shelbyville fucking the ass monster with 3 legs. Oh, like that's interesting to me. Like yeah, like Sasquatch, like Mothman, all sorts of things, right? The Hodag, the Chupacabra. I is it Wisconsin that has like the Dog Man? Like that shit is all interesting to me. And so I was on Reddit looking at like the various subreddits for like ghosts, cryptids, creepy stuff, that kind of seeing everything interesting. And I came across probably one of the freakiest fucking videos I've seen in a long time. And so this was posted in r/ghosts, but this isn't a ghost video. I consider it more of a cryptid video. And here's the link to it. So there's the thread. The full video is a minute long, and the actual entity appears at 46 seconds in. Um, I'm going to go pee to give you guys a chance to go watch it real quick. And when I come back, I'll post some clips from it in chat to like compare it to. So you don't have to watch it. You'll be able to watch it from the clips I post here in a minute. But if you want to go watch it yourself, go ahead and do so. I'll be back in a minute.
open my fucking back door, bro, and show y'all that the picture came from in the back of my fucking yard, man. Let me see if I can flip this bitch around. That's the exact motherfucking spot now. That's my backyard. I'm zooming in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just.
Thank you guys for putting up with the dead air. But and see, Hillbilly says something interesting, which is only blurry parts is when the being appears. This video was taken during a Facebook live stream, which is like 3 minutes long, and so like it's very hard to fake something like that on a Facebook live stream. Like that would stress out even like a professional crew. But anyways, for those who watch who didn't want to leave the who very understandably didn't want to click on a link to somewhere else, I will post a few clips of it in the chat here. So here it is. You played for the recording. Thank you, Zig. So here's a GIF that I posted in the chat of what we're looking at. And like, I don't know what the fuck that thing is, but it looks really fucking freaky. And when I first saw it, like, it spooked me because it's fast and it's tall and it looks like I don't know what the fuck it is, but it is freaky. It's got like long ass arms and like a tail. There was some speculation that maybe it's like a kangaroo. So this guy put a thing together to compare it, and I'll post that. But like, so here's another clip, and like the colors are inverted at the top section, so you can kind of see the outline of it more clearly. And on the bottom, it's like how a kangaroo, goodness gracious, what a kangaroo looks like. And like the tail does throw me off, right? Because the tail makes it look like some kind of animal, but that's no kangaroo. And the final GIF I'll post here is like it's slowed down, but that's an MP4. Okay, you know it plays like a GIF. Never mind. So and there it is, kind of slowed down, but it's pretty fucking spooky and creepy, and that's interesting to me. I like real spooky and creepy paranormal stuff. The more real it can be, the better. So that's what that is. What do you guys think that thing is in the video? I think it's like a demon of some kind or a cryptid. Like, I don't know. It's weird. You think it's fake? And so, like, the reason why I'm so inclined to believe it, though, is because it's from a Facebook live stream. And, like, the person recording it, I, I don't know. But like even in the Facebook live stream, the person goes back and forth with the phone, like recording themselves, recording like the feelings and stuff. So there you go. But anyways, I'll go ahead and move on. Um, I don't have a lot to talk about with politics and war because I don't think there's been any developments in the war. I don't think anything else has happened. The only thing I have to talk about politics and war stuff. Oh, and that video was taken in Florida, by the way. The only politics and war stuff I really have that's interesting is apparently Greene. There's been some drama with Greene again. Um, I don't know the context though. Apparently, first off, there were some people paying to be gov in his alliance, and there was some also kind of like dumb plans. Blinky Gang hit Greene. I don't know anything about that. All I know is that people are mad at Greene again. So much so that Greene tried to release a statement about it, and then they just got even more mad at him. So I don't know what it is about Greene, but like it seems like everything just blows up in his face, and I don't know if like I think what happens is um he just tries to do so much that like some part of his plots just blow up. It's paying to be able to run. Yeah. But like Cobalt blew up. Land of Confusion blew up. Taith blew up. Greene's paying for politics and war cash thing blew up. And now apparently his current thing is like every year he seems to have some kind of problem. I wouldn't so there is a comparison to be made between Castor and him, but like I think Castor was way more successful than Greene was, and I think Castor had a number of people who liked him, including myself. Whereas I don't think a lot of people like I'm friendly with Greene, but like the number of people who are in that subset with me is pretty small. So I don't know. Um, but yeah. Let's see if I can plot bullying and likability. Um, yeah, well, yeah, well, so like for example, with Castor, there was the Castor's Karma War in which he was plotting to roll KT, and so we teamed up with Bad Company to roll Assassin Order. And I think Castor was rolled like many other times. Like I think Inquisition rolled him. There might have been some other wars, but yeah, yeah, he always had trouble. Their head they doesn't use Discord. That's nice. All right, so that's all I could say about that. So besides Camelot stuff, which I will be talking with Uriah about here in a minute, any other politics and war topics I need to go over? Did anything else happen that I should flap my gums about and pretend like I know something about when I really don't? Black Skies and Sanctuary. I think they broke up or something, right? Old-fashioned baby seal clubbing going on. Well, you gotta bash in a few baby seal brains to make. Why do people hunt baby seals? What do we consume that they're made out of? I actually don't know. Meat? Oh, it's like does the pain make it taste better or something? Oh man. All right. You're not gonna get that much blubber from a baby seal. All right. Anyways, um, let me let me discuss some gay real life politics, and then I'm going to bring on Uriah. Um, I don't. Gosh, this might sound silly coming from me, but like I don't like partisan politics. Like it would be too easy for me to get up on the Discord and to say, "Look at how Joe Biden is ruining the country. I cannot believe people were so dumb as to vote for Joe." Like that's not interesting. That's not compelling. Um, you could probably make a lot of money if you do that a lot, which a lot of people do, but that's boring to me. But like this Afghanistan thing, it's not going so well. um, okay, so first off, let me help the old man real quick. Um, I don't think it's right to criticize Biden for withdrawing out of Afghanistan because it was time for that war to be over. Trump did a good job laying the groundwork for the Afghanistan war to end. Joe Biden is very good for executing on that in full. The fuck up, though, the fuck up has been the actual like tactical implementation of the withdrawal. That's all really fucked. Um, which I guess part of it was that it was expected that the Afghan National Army could hold on to the country for like 6 months, but instead they couldn't even last like a full week. And so maybe that's helped fuck things up. But um people were mad at Biden. Now they were already mad at Biden, right? But then yesterday, or at least I think it was yesterday, you had a suicide bomb attack um at the airport, and I believe 12. I think I also heard 17. Maybe it was 17 wounded, but at least 12 Americans dead, American servicemen. And that's really like the the campaign against Biden really ramped up after that. 12 Marines, one American. It was like a naval medic or something's among the dead. Maybe that was it. And so Biden did give a press. Okay, first off, who here actually watched his speaking event yesterday at 5? Did anyone watch it besides me? Mr. C did. Mayor did. Hillbilly didn't watch it live. What did you guys think about it? Exactly. What did you think? I watched it because my mindset was okay, we had this awful attack against Americans. What does my commander in chief think about it? So I tuned in and like I tried to be objective. I tried to drop my political feelings and just go, okay, this is my leader. Is he do I feel like he's in control now that I've watched this? And I walked away from it thinking, no, he does not have any control. He is not I do not have any more confidence in his leadership. I thought it was really silly that he went to take press questions and he said, "Oh, I got a list that was given to me. First off, like your handlers are having to tell you in which order to talk to the press." That was pretty sus. And then he did this fucking thing. I think I have a picture of it. Yeah, he did this, and I don't know what this was. He like bent over and like held like what is he doing in this picture? What is that? I don't know, like that's a weird thing to do. He's charging up. He's powering up his key. And he sounded so sleepy and tired. Cocaine and drinking with your friends. Banana. Um but yeah, like I thought it was a shitty thing. The only thing that I liked is that he did say, with a degree of confidence, that they would find out who was responsible for the attack and that we would kill them, which I thought was nice. That's the least he could have said. But besides that, I didn't care about the speech. I thought it was pretty shit. And Biden's approval rating is probably in the 30s now. Because first off, all the Republicans already dislike him because of partisan politics. But like now, even the media has turned against him, right? So I think we're going to have President Harris, which is fine because no one likes her, and it's only going to delegitimize um, things more. So that's fine. But I think we're probably going to have President Harris. Biden is probably like going to resign before his term is out. Um, Harris would be worse. No one likes Biden. Even fewer people like Harris. So, like Harris is less likable than Hillary. So a Harris presidency is only going to result in more people being pissed off. And I guess I'm something of an accelerationist, so that's fine. I don't care. Exactly. I think Harris is a cunt, and no one likes her. So that's fine. She's only going to galvanize more people against the political system, and I think that's great. Um. So yeah, Biden's either going to pass away before his term is over, or he's going to resign. I don't think he's going to be making it through the whole term. Um, his health is pretty bad, it seems. There's a lot of pressure against him. So that's where it is. The first female president of the U.S. is a chick who had to sleep her way to the top, and then she like couldn't even get elected in the primaries or the general election. That is pretty jokes. All right, I think that's it. This Biden's fucked. That's how that is. Oh, and like even other foreign leaders are talking about how shit Biden is. So rough time to be Sleepy Joe. Well, he only picked your George to appease the woke left crowd, which makes sense. Um, why are people pinging me in KT's chat? It doesn't okay? That's why I know. Who would you pick to be our first female president out of the currently available options? Um, Mommy Thalmor. I trust Mommy Thalmor with the power of the state because I could tell her what to do and she'd do it. But see, I'm an anarchist, so I'm trying to think who is the most pro liberty woman I know. No, who is the most pro liberty person, and that's a short list. And now I'm filtering it further to who is the most pro liberty woman, and I got nothing. I think Jorgensen is silly. Tulsi Gabbard is not pro liberty. I liked Tulsi before I became an anarchist. Um, I got nothing. I got nothing. So yeah, probably Mommy Thalmor. Mommy Thalmor can be the first female president. Now, who would I pick as president overall? Like probably Ron Paul, um, or Dave Smith, or Tom Woods, or even Michael Malice. Lots of people. I said Ron, not Rand, but I would take Rand too. I mean, goodness gracious, if we could go back to 2016 and give it to Rand, sure, let's go for it. Can't be any worse. Can't be any worse. But all right, that's it. I'm done talking about cancer politics. Let's talk about speaking of cancer politics, let's talk about Camelot. um let me unmute Uriah. Hi Uriah.
Yo. It's a Kentucky show tonight.
Say one more time.
It's a Kentucky show tonight. For all Kentuckians.
Oh shit, you're Kentuckian too? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Bowling Green area.
What part?
Like, yeah, Mammoth Cave.
Bowling Green.
Around.
We're out
Yeah.
west. Yeah. I'm I'm outside Danville, so I'm central. Zig has Louisville on lockdown, and now you got Western. That's gosh, there's so many fucking Kentuckians who play this game, and they all like orbit around Thalmor Radio too. It's very interesting.
Yeah, that's a strange one. It's a hillbilly Kentuckian too, because he's been talking about Kentucky a lot.
Yes,
Okay.
he is from Kentucky. I believe he's in Florida now, but he's from Kentucky.
Oh, you should go back to Kentucky. Why the fuck would you go to Florida?
um, so you wanted to come on to talk about what happened with Camelot, right?
Yeah. So,
Okay, so you have such a unique perspective in all this. I'm just going to let you talk, and then when you're done, I'll ask questions. But for now, pop off, King.
I guess this all started sort of almost immediately after the TLE war. where we were in our OPSEC chat discussing FA things, and me, Azazel, and Hapier are disagreeing with Epi on just like this FA move. Can't go into what it is, but Epi was not having it. He just couldn't accept no for an answer there. And so for some reason, it started to lead to where if he can't get his way, he was gonna either try to make himself leader of Camelot, like actually become king, or I guess emperor, whatever he wanted to name himself. Or he was gonna fragment the alliance and make a splinter called Winter. So he decided that. Knowing that we wouldn't been in a good spot with Epi leaving, he did hold a lot of our sheets. He nuked the alliance page on his way out too, because he made it. It would have been rough for us. So I can't remember who approached who. I don't know if it was Azazel that approached Epi or Epi approaching Azazel, but we started negotiating him coming back and having him as leader under certain stipulations, where George would basically still run most of the FA for the most part, and the aim of our FA would start getting geared towards improving Epi's relations, which are just there in the toilet. If Epi had an approval rating tracking, it'd be terrible.
Yeah, I need to see how many members are down to now.
The screenshot I showed you was during that negotiation. What I tried to do was I tried to get it to where maybe I could co-lead with him, because I was supposed to take over after Arthur anyways, not Epi. So his response was, Rich, you saw it, he said, basically he admitted to betraying me, which, like, at that moment, that was the moment when I was like thinking, oh no, I think we're making a big mistake. It is honestly the biggest mistake I've ever made, is letting Epi back after he pulled that stuff. So obviously I didn't get co-leadership, but I got guaranteed air. That was the deal. So I was gonna be air. Zazel and Hateby are to be also second in command, and Hateby, just still runs her IA department, and Azazel runs FA. Azazel is George. George is Azazel. Sorry, I use those interchangeably. Yeah. After all that started happening, like the first day, it was actually kind of fine until Epi just, ignored the whole agreement and overhauled RFA over the head of George. And so George, I think he drew the line there and he left, which wasn't good for Camelot. Camelot, it definitely needed George to help run FA with Epi. Otherwise, things were not gonna look good. He's the one that holds like kind of political power in the block. So he left, and excuse me, I'm a little scatterbrained. I did have my second COVID shot, and it's fucked me up. Actually, I have a 100-degree fever right now. I'm trying to explain this stuff.
The best time to talk about these kind of complex things is when you're halfway lucid.
Yeah, I'm actually literally sweating right now because of this fever I got. Yay. But where was I? Up to Azazel leaving, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm also starting to hear things from our block leadership about Epi, talking to them. It seems like he was trying to force some things in the block. Once again, I couldn't exactly explain why I wasn't actually in that conversation, but it was like leading over for a few days that I was getting messages from Hannah and others in the block, basically complaining about Epi, and how he was approaching, FA with our allies and whatnot. Like, all right, hopefully it's not as bad as they're saying. Whatever. This leads to a few days back where we're having a voice chat in our block VC. So this voice chat I wasn't expecting like it was supposed to be just a hangout. So Azazel's pings everybody's like, hey, let's just all chill and talk and everything. That's what it was supposed to be. Everybody's just gonna get together and just hang out. Didn't turn out that way because while we were sitting there, I get a screenshot that Epi was talking shit about the block in public. I don't know which server. I think it might have been OCN. But yeah, he was just like shitting on Mystery Block while he's still a member of the block. Needless to say, Hannah specifically was very upset about that, and I haven't heard her that angry ever. I've talked to Hannah before. I've been in voice chats with her. She's one of the nicest people in the game. And when she's livid, you know you got a problem. So Hannah's railing on Epi. And I'm sitting there just, having it marinate, and after a while, I talked to Epi, in front of the allies, and I don't think Epi took that too well, that this was a poor decision on his part, that he shouldn't be talking ill of the block in public to people that are not members of the block at all. That's like number one thing you shouldn't fucking do. Even if you're having problems within the block, that needs to stay privately within the block and discussed within the block. It can't be publicly expressed. But he decided to do that. Epi returns and says that I shouldn't be talking ill of him or as a member of Camelot in front of allies, and I should not be speaking. He's basically trying to censor me. Which I took very, very poorly. Personally, I did not like somebody sitting there saying that I can say something as in the leadership of the block too. Like, I think I had that right, even though I'm in the same alliance, to tell Epi, he's wrong. And if he can't accept that, that maybe he is wrong about something, or maybe he's made a mistake, then I don't know. It was insane that he actually decided to try to silence me in a way in front of our allies. And then there was I was finally allowed in this OPSEC chat that I was hearing about. I was told I was going to be removed, so Epi told me he was going to remove me from it afterwards and then add somebody else from the alliance in it. And he told me to take screenshots of it, which I didn't. It was basically treating me like a dog on a leash in front of allies. I just did not, it's kind of like treating me like shit in front of friends of mine too, and then so immediately after that voice chat ends, I'm discussing with Epi decides to do the 72-hour notice without a vote. He's supposed to vote on it within the government. It was supposed to be between me, Happy, and him. That didn't happen. He decided he had to make a decision to withdraw from the block, claiming that they were gonna kick Camelot anyways, which, jury's out on that. And it made no sense to me if they were going to kick, just let them kick, you know? That's just me. If I were in the same situation, I was sure they were going to do that. But I'm pretty sure they weren't, that's not at all what they were planning. And the voice chat was, like, they were trying to negotiate with them, but it just didn't pan out. Didn't pan out at all. And I don't know, it seems like he can't take no for an answer now, like, at all. He used to be able to. I think something happened right after the TLE war, in which if you don't agree with him, now you're an enemy of him. That you're somehow you don't know what you're talking about. Only Epi is right. Epi is the best, and it's this little. It's a little narcissistic to me. I don't doubt like Epi's skills of leadership and all that. He's always been internally an excellent government member, but I can't also ignore the fact that 90% of our FA problems seem to be sourced from Epi. And, sorry, I'm rambling right now, but, yeah. So, basically, that's what was going on there.
So,
Go ahead.
so I want to go ahead and interject here. So I want to understand something.
Mm-hmm.
Is it accurate to say that like Epi executed a hostile takeover of Camelot?
Yeah, it was hostile in a way that he did fragment the alliance in order to gain that power, and put us in a bad spot. Either way, I think we were going to be in a bad spot. Clearly, Camelot's in a worse spot now than it would have been had we not let him back. And I think Azazel, yeah, it was definitely hostile. It was I think Azazel would admit as much as me, and same with AP, that that's one of our biggest mistakes in the games. Is letting him back. It was ever negotiating with him on anything, and I figured the reason why I did it was because we have been able to reason with Epi before. He's not the most unreasonable guy. I think a lot of people gave him an extremely bad rep. But at the same time, there's a lot of actions that kind of back up that bad rep that he does almost repeatedly. He does it usually without telling our government when it happens. We just find out something happens, and then we gotta jump out our ass to, cover some FA issue that just got created for us. Yeah, sorry if I'm rambling. Once again, I do have 100-degree fever, and my brain is mush right now.
Buddy, 95% of the show is me rambling. I can't criticize you for being halfway lucid here. But so another thing I want to say or ask is in in Camelot's Gov lineup now, you have Epi at the top, and then someone else named Evlar or something, who I think is a nobody. I don't even know who that is. So it seems like
Evlar,
all of Camelot's Gov has melted away. So I'm
yeah.
guessing everyone was pretty much against what was going on.
So about Evlar was our head of Milcom. With the problem with is he went very inactive last war. The reasoning though was his I think his grandmother died, I think, so that was understandable. But even afterwards he was inactive there for a while. Actually, I have no idea why he's staying. But yeah, no, the government got gutted after Zazel left. I think that was time was counting down for basically Epi to get isolated. You know, he was sitting there burning bridges with everybody, it seemed, even with his own government. When I left, which was shortly after that voice chat in Mystery Inc. server, um, I was trying to like do some last ditch kind of reason with him to reverse the 72 hours. And I'm like, you know what options do we have here? Where are we gonna go? Oh yeah, Azazel's right. There's quite a few yes men that are left in the government, especially Flavy, who's the second in command
Okay,
in
so
Multi
here's
Offshore.
the part. So here's the part I'm a bit confused on, or maybe not confused, but just interested in. There was a lot of heavy hitters in Camelot. You have yourself, you have Arthur, you have George, and
Yeah,
it
even
seems
Arthur
like
left.
to me that Epi was some. It seems like to me Epi was somehow able to just come in and like beat you guys all out, and it it almost seems to me as if there was like no will to fight for Camelot. What? How am I wrong?
So I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Like, the no will to fight for Camelot? I just didn't understand the
Epi
question.
deleted the. Yeah, sure. Epi deleted the alliance description. He took these documents with him. Like you could probably guess, he's not a good faith actor, right?
No,
And then he
definitely wasn't.
comes in, demands to be leader, and you and Arthur and George just immediately capitulate. Like, how does that happen?
We didn't capitulate. There were things he'd had to follow as a leader. It wasn't just him being leader and he could just do everything, but he then just did that anyways. So the agreement was, you know, Azazel will work with Epi on the FA and to improve his relations. And that means Azazel would still have to say what goes on with her foreign affairs, or extremely the most part. Uh, and
Is this still the case? I'm under the impression George is out of the picture completely.
Huh? No, this was the agreement from when Epi returned, but of course that didn't happen. Epi immediately overhauled the department and started bringing up the same FA discussion we had before all this started. That kind of led to this. He was trying to force the same thing again. Once again, I can't go over that FA decision that he was wanting to do, but yeah, he immediately goes and violates it because he's emperor, right? And the first thing he does when he returns is when I unban him from the Camelot Discord is he makes a Napoleon quote of all things. So I don't know if it's a Napoleon roleplay. I don't know if he's doing all this on purpose because maybe he didn't want Camelot to be a mass member alliance anymore. He wanted to return to what Camelot was before. Uh, you know, this heavy hitting, which they were good fighters. Camelot was extremely, when it started out back in 2018, extremely good fighting alliance and
Okay, I think you're
prolific.
rambling, so I'm going to interject here.
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
you're rambling a bit.
I am rambling.
I want to steer the ship a bit more. I want to. I feel like I'm not got my question answered, so I'm going to reinstate it here.
Yeah, reinstate it.
If you guys thought I keep saying the wrong fucking word. If you guys thought Epi was like being a bad guy, why is he leader and Arthur, George, and you guys are out of Gov? Like, again, it looks like to me as if there was no will to fight for Camelot's future here. And so, what am I not seeing, and what do I not know?
So, I mean, it was like a 2 week long thing. So I had to leave because I was being dragged in the dirt. You know, I can't work with somebody that treats me like shit on the daily. The only reason I was staying wasn't for Epi. And the only reason I agreed to this wasn't for Epi. It was for because I thought it was the best choice for Camelot. I was completely wrong, and after a while, I was going to get run out anyways. I was sure of it because once Epi started overhauling a bunch of shit, and once the agreements that we made for having him leader were just ignored and overhauled, um, yeah, I think my time was numbered, and yeah, I don't know. That's the best I could do to answer, at least on my part. I don't know. I cannot speak for George why he left or if he did not have the will anymore. I Hateby was kicked. So Hateby was kicked for disagreeing. So Hateby didn't even have the choice to leave. She was forced out. And there were a lot of members that were kicked by Epi for very similar reasons, for disagreeing with him. So, you know, it wasn't necessarily there was no will to fight. It's a lot of it was him forcing people out anyways.
So, okay, I think I understand a bit more. Um, you guys made this agreement with Epi. That's how he became leader, and then it unraveled from there. I think I was missing that kind of piece of the puzzle, but now I get it now.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I was accused of things I wouldn't do. Um, also, he he said the Commonwealth would message me to steal the bank, which never happened. I was baffled. He said they messaged Happy for similar reasons to go and coup Epi, which obviously that didn't happen. I think there's just a lot of assumptions being made that are just not true. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of get the picture now. I want to take a few steps back in the history to ask a few general questions. One of them would be, um, what's the story behind Epi resigning from Gov before all this went down?
Epi resigning from like the most recent one where
I
he
believe
left to Winter, or because there was another time where he
I
left.
remember. I remember there being a fairly recent, like before he created Winter, I think. Oh, you faked your own resignation. Okay,
Oh yeah,
gotcha.
okay, yeah, that was definitely those a lot of those screenshots or those leaks were they were definitely intentionally faked to catch those spies, which they both got caught. There were two of them. One of them joined like last second, leaked something, and then immediately got kicked or left. I don't remember. But yeah, no, he didn't actually
Gotcha.
step down there. That was yeah.
Okay, and who were the spies?
Oh god, I gotta think. Epi's in the chat. He would remember. I can't remember. Socrates. I don't think Zayrul was a spy, Epi. I think we missed our shot there. But Socrates is definitely one, and then there was a guy named Frito who joined. Frito's the one that joined for not even a day, and then leaked our notice board and left.
Gotcha. So, I think kind of the full picture now. George, you're unmuted. Do you have anything you want to contribute to the conversation?
Might not have his mic.
He
Yeah, he
is
can't
typing. Cannot
see.
voice chat right now. Well, even outside of voice chat and text chat, you got anything else you want to touch on? Anything you want to say? Or any questions I should be asking that I'm not? No, not really. Gotcha. Epi, anything you want to say? Text chat, voice chat, whatever. Any topics, any questions you want me to ask that I'm not? He will not. He had to cancel last minute, unfortunately.
Ah, poor SRD. I was wanting to hear him. I want to see what he had to say.
Yeah, I did too. But it is what
He's
it
always
is. He
fun.
got busy. That's all right. Maybe next week or the week, after that or something. Epi says, I don't care much for my side. Well, I care for your side. You can say, whatever you want to say. You have a platform here in Thalmoria to get your side out. I think that's fair.
I mean, yeah, obviously both sides have to be heard anyways. Why don't you talk
He'll
now?
talk in the post show. Well, okay.
Alright, fair enough.
I would prefer, obviously, because, it's my show, Alec can talk now, but if he wants to talk in the post show, that's fine. So stick around if you want to hear what Epi has to say. Trying to think besides that, what else? I'm going to unmute Shifty now. So, okay, he's already, okay, I forgot he's an admin here. He can unmute himself. But, Shifty has been posting in the chat some logs, and even I don't fully understand them, but it paints a picture in which this whole Camelot thing is much more complicated than what's
It
already
says a
out
lot
there. So
about
Shifty,
society.
it says a lot about we live in a society.
So
The only thing, go on.
basically, if you guys remember, Camelot's had a lot of, well, not Camelot, but Mysteries Camelot has had a lot of drama going on since they were a part of Rose. They were with Rose. Everyone was laughing at Rose, saying, "Oh my God, Rose lost Camelot. Rip Rose fear." They went to Oasis. If you remember, it was just kind of seen as like, wow, Rose must be really dying. Then there was that Quack War, and we're like, wait a second, where the hell did Rose get all these allies from? There's obviously then there was the first Hollywood War. Obviously, where did Rose get all those allies? And it's just been kind of this whole thing of Rose keeps secret treaties. It's been pretty much a common thing where, like, if you guys remember back when Phoenix was talking about with the whole thing with Tyrion, who was the secret what is it, hedge money guy or whatever it was, and it was basically just like, yeah, it's not SRD, but it's basically key guys and a few other people, constantly like taking Rose's side and convincing Rose to jump in. Yeah, basically it makes sense for them at this point to replace unruly Camelot with Cataclysm. You have Keygas, which has got a great tie to Rose. You have the former soup kitchen people, or some of them are in Ampersand, at least Hannah and a few others. You can definitely get a few people in there working, and it works better to have them than to have Camelot in there. Now, from at least what I've heard so far, as far as Camelot goes, Camelot's had some issues with Mystery. They had their issue when they were fighting Hollywood, and then they were like, please don't beige, please don't do this, we're going to come in and hit. And Mystery, Rose, Oasis was like, no, we'll beige, it's fine, we're just going to beige. So they weren't completely doing that well in terms of war coordination, and they weren't doing that well in terms of debating how they're going to end the war. Then from there, further problems happen when Mystery decides to give Gado a voice and all of that. And if you guys remember, there was some little drama. It was almost considered micro drama because people don't really care about Gato too much yet, but they're moving up. And the whole thing was, how does a protectorate end up having a say in a block when they're just a protectorate? That's completely unheard of, unless they're actually finally given block member status. Main reasoning behind this was supposed to be that if you give Gato votes, they can vote because their interests are not going to side with Camelot. You can have someone else that will basically break Camelot, because Weebianism and Aurora were the former Oasis partners of Camelot, and Weebianism's great with Camelot. So now that you have someone that can take the ampersand side, that can take the Fark side, and God, who's the other member? I keep forgetting who the hell's in Mystery. There's always one that you forget about. Can someone? Oh, ampersand. Duh. No, wait. No, I already said ampersand. But anyway, point is, that didn't fly well with them. That's considered like a big no-no. Hey, you're kind of trying to get someone else in so you can break our vote. And apparently from there, the big complaint has been that ampersand, just like in Swamp, is kind of just doing whatever they want, and whoever happens to be ampersand's yes men gets to have a say too. Anybody else, we're not really going to talk to you about it, and we're kind of just going to do things and then kind of just enact the whole, well, we just have to act as a block, right? We got to show solidarity, right? Just take our side. As far as Camelot leaving or any sort of issue, there was one screenshot that I posted. The whole thing was that, Camelot obviously made some bad decisions going after treasures. They've been hit with raids. They're kind of going broke. There was that whole joke post that got leaked that, they're pretty broke. And it's just a few days ago. Apparently the whole thing was that Yar called in interest on loans and called in payments on Camelot, even though Camelot's broke. So they went even further broke. And one of the things was, hey, please don't charge us right now. We're kind of broke, but if you're going to charge us, just let us build up and, kind of stick around a little bit so that we're not left completely broke and exposed to raiders. Oh no, it's cool. We won't kick you out of the block. Apparently with that happening, they paid it off, or they sent out the money. They assumed, okay, we're not going to get kicked out. Then there was a whole, we're going to cancel. From there, there was also apparently an OCN show or something going on, or a voice chat where Epi publicly kind of criticized what was going on in Mystery Inc. And from there, the only other Mystery Inc. member that was there was Kitschy, and she's from Fark, so she's her FA. Kind of brought up the whole thing that Epi said to the entire council there. That's when they finally said, hey, you know what? Epi's full of shit. We really don't like him. Get him out of here. And now you have a broken Camelot with members that have left. Former Gov members saying that they were doing all of this in the interest of Camelot. They were going to basically Operation Valkyrie Epi for running Camelot into the ground. But in reality, they did do some moves that were not in the best interest of Camelot. Whether unknowing or whether they were rose pawns, that's a different thing. And from there, you basically now have a broken Camelot with missing Gov members, missing members. They're paperless, they're broke, and they're getting raided to hell. So not a good place to be, but it does look like someone drove their basically someone drove him into a grave essentially. But Epi did get Operation Valkyrie essentially.
So Operation Valkyrie, what do you mean by that?
Basically these guys are saying that they try to stop Epi from, further collapsing Camelot. And basically kind of try to do a character assassination, try to get him out of there. Honestly, the way I see it at this point is maybe Epi kind of fell into some of these traps here, but I don't think, I think obviously there was some issue going on there. Oh, okay. Let me repost these.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I wasn't involved in anything like Operation Valkyrie. I wasn't out to remove.
I mean, there's that, and again, there's like a whole thing of how Camelot's FA was going. what was going on, what was disagreed upon, what wasn't okay. Things going as far back as like the Secret Camelot TKR Treaty, all this other stuff. But yeah, it's sorry my voice is fucked up. I drank a shitload the last few days, and we've been chain vaping slash chain smoking, so it's gonna be a little bit ill. But yes, essentially, as far as this stuff goes, it's basically a lot of back and forth of Camelot not liking what's going on, Camelot acting a certain way, which then pisses off everyone else. And it just keeps going back and forth to the point where it just goes to, you know what, we really don't want to deal with Camelot at this point. But then Camelot gets basically killed. Oh, I guess was anybody expecting me to continue with this, or because I think that you just said I think he was either going to go to rebuttal or Thalmor was just having me recap with the screenshots.
Now I think it's about it. George, he seems to take issue with it, and so I'll give him opportunity to speak up about it. Shifty
Yeah, okay.
brought these logs to my attention before the show, and it sounded interesting, so I was going to let Shifty present it, and he just did.
I'm like the ghost imposter in Among Us. Like I'm removed from the ship, but I'm still haunting the place.
And George's response is, "I don't need to. I think most people already know how Epi is, and also I'm busy." I don't think that's a very confident rebuttal, but okay, I will accept it. Uriah, do you have anything you want to add?
So, like, I don't know exactly what was going on between the blocks. I was not allowed in certain voice chats in the block, even as a leadership. Well, not voice chat. There was this FA channel that was supposed to be a high OPSEC kind of deal, and I was focused mostly on internals and Camelot, anyways. No, I don't really have much to say from my perspective that I haven't already said before and rambled on before.
All right. Well, see, it's 10. Oh, Cthulhu wanted to talk about stuff with Greene and whatnot, so I think I will. I think we're moving on to that now. Thank you, Uriah, for
Welcome.
coming on talking about this. Thank you, George, for also contributing, Epi for being around, and for Shifty for presenting these logs. And I think that's it for this topic. Um, actually, no, I want to give my thoughts on it. Yeah, let me give my thoughts on the Camelot stuff, and then we'll move on to the Greene thing. Um, I knew that shit was fucked in Camelot because it was very strange to me that the public facing stuff went from Epi is resigning, now he is apparently quitting the game, he's VMing for a year, to now Epi has this Winter Alliance, which is a Camelot splinter, to whoops, Epi is now just leader now. Whoa, geez, oh no. And so, from what I can tell, I knew something dramatic happened, and from what I can tell, what's been revealed tonight, I was right. It seemed like Epi kind of stormed in and was able to declare himself supreme leader of Camelot, which takes some balls.
Emperor. That's it. That's the title. Emperor.
Emperor, declare himself emperor, just like Napoleon, just like Napoleon. He returned from exile on Saint whatever that island was.
Or like the llama from Emperor's New Groove.
And so, yeah. Now we'll see what happens, because I think Camelot's fucked overall. I think Epi's a competent leader, but they've lost 40 members. Seems like they've lost most of their gov. It seems like Epi's going to have to rebuild the whole gov. Their FA is shot all to hell. It seems like the whole community is pretty much united against Epi, at least what I can tell publicly. They're going paperless, which paperless can really only be pulled off if you have the capacity to effectively protect yourself. Everyone knows you have the capacity to effectively protect yourself, and you have a shred of respect in the community. And I'm not sure if Camelot has all of these things or not. So, like there are like KT's rating them a bunch. It's very easy to imagine in the next global, people will attack Camelot just a stat pad. Um, it's not just that Camelot looks to be in a bad spot. It looks to be they're in a bad spot, and there's no mechanism for them to really recover. I mean, maybe they won't disband. Maybe they'll hobble along for quite some time still. But I think the peak of Camelot has been reached, at least for quite some time. So that seems to be where we are at now.
I mean,
And
I would counter that by saying we've seen some alliances almost basically die, but someone fucks up big enough that they either get a second shot at life or they kind of get the whole, well, they're not really pixel huggers, and we lost our friends in this block. So as long if we get one block to completely shatter and another one to kind of splinter off, then Camelot has a better chance at life, because they'll just be pulled in out of necessity, and then someone else will be at the peak of scandals. So that's kind of the one thing about PW that's always funny is, so long as you don't get banned, if someone causes a bigger scandal next, they forget about your thing and move on to the next. It's like tabloids. So Camelot just has to bank that some nasty leaks come out of Rose, something nasty comes out of the Syndicate, or that Hollywood splinters in a certain way that causes a big chain reaction.
yeah, and it's what George just said. I lurk a lot in Ron, and I've seen people trash Epi for quite some time now. I don't think this is just like I don't think this is going to get resolved anytime soon with him, unfortunately. So, that's that.
Yeah, I think Ron created a monster. I blame them now.
um, think that's it for this topic. Now, I'm gonna mute you, Uriah. I'm gonna unmute Cthulhu, and we'll be talking about what's been going on with Greene's Alliance now. Thank you so much, Uriah.
Thank you for having me.
There's Cthulhu. There you go. Cthulhu, what's up? Uh-oh. He ain't talking. Cthulhu! Hello? He's typing, but he ain't talking. He can barely hear me. That is a you problem? You need to turn me up or turn your volume up or something. Because I'm sure everyone else can hear me just fine.
Sir or madam, have you tried resetting your computer?
In the beginning, there was Cthulhu.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, he reset himself.
That was something.
So, what do you guys want to know?
How do you get your voice to do that weird bass thing?
That is an Elisa's quadrasynth.
Oh, I thought you could do that with your vocal cords. Now I'm sad.
I might be in the entertainment industry, but I'm not quite that good.
I was gonna be like, come on, man, let's go to an alligator pond and start belching like alligators.
So, Cthulhu, Greene has been in the news twice lately. One of them seems to be for some drama I'm not really fully aware of. Maybe you are. And the second thing was that people were laughing at him because you could apparently pay to be government in his alliance. What do you know about what's happening with Greene and his alliance?
What do I know about what happened? What? You're like super quiet, and I have the volume all the way up on these earphones.
I'm not sure why I'm so quiet, but that's weird.
It's just you.
Cthulhu, what do you know about Greene and the drama with his alliance? What do you know about what you know?
Well, he doesn't like telling his government members what's actually going on. I had to do that for him. One of them, the only one that had the guts to say anything to him about it, got kicked. And of course, he lied about it, like he lies about everything else.
Gotcha. So, how did you come to join his alliance?
I never did join their alliance. They tried to force merge my alliance.
Oh shit. Okay, give us a story with that. That sounds interesting. Yeah, that was the drama. Yeah, I forgot it that, but that's what that is. I remember now. Give us the tea, Cthulhu.
Okay, well, one of my members was in 770 and had the courtesy to let him know that she was going to be leaving to help form a new alliance. He said, well, why don't you guys just run it inside 770? And that wasn't going to work. So we formed the new alliance. Then he starts throwing a stream of noobs at us who had no idea what was going on because none of them are on Discord. They don't know the game at all. And we started feeling bad for them, really. So started sending ultimatums to them to peace out or have their cities erased by nukes on attrition. And of course, that's when the flurry of peace offers came, although Greene likes to say that he told them to peace out. I have screenshots. He doesn't.
Oh, so
No, I don't
like
use a
did
voice changer.
Defcon
I'm a voice actor, among other things.
Oh,
And yes,
what do you
that was
do
the
voice
cat,
acting
Stickle
for?
Fritz.
What do you do voice acting for?
Different things. Not trying to totally dox myself.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I was going to ask for examples, but I understand wanting to maintain your privacy. That makes sense.
I'm actually more of
So
a musical hired gun than a voice hired gun, but yeah.
I've noticed there's lots of overlap. Seems like just about anyone that does voice acting also sings, which I guess that makes sense because if your voice box and shit is trained to do one of those things, you can probably do the other one pretty easily, right?
Well, there's actually quite a bit of difference. You need different kind of voice training for each. But there's still a lot of overlap.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, I'm gonna just
So,
request this one. Can you say Autobots transform and roll out?
Autobots transform.
oh shit, this is great. Um, oh Cthulhu, I can. Ooh, I might want you to do. Can I pay you with in-game money to say funny stuff for my show in the future?
Oh, indeed.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, there's a lot of meme potential in this. I need to keep in mind. Also, there's a picture of my cat. It took forever to load from my phone, but that's my kitty. But anyways, um, so Cthulhu, Greene tried to force your alliance, Defcon 5, to merge into his alliance. Um, I'm guessing that I'm guessing he failed completely, right?
Oh, very much so.
And so tell us, I don't know your alliance, Defcon 5. Tell us a little bit about your alliance and also about yourself with your history in the game.
Well, my history in the game, I started back in spring of 2018 with Pantheon. I turned down every government position offered to me for months until they finally created a brand new government position to lure me into government, which was it spanned all government departments and was answerable directly to the emperor. It was a an advisory and analysis role, and then I ended up running the counter strike force. Uh, I was Titan for about 30 seconds while busting a coup. Uh, I ended up training the new Milcom head up. He was moved over from IA. I eventually got sick of the insanity, and after leaving their government for the third time, I just kind of ended up. Well, actually, I ran a think tank for a little bit called Cthulu and Associates with a really good bot maker who went by Badger, and then I just kind of let my nation auto delete. And then now, as far as DEFCON 5, uh, we're all, well, except for the guy who didn't even hear of this game until about a week ago before he joined us. He followed me out of another game server, Gods and Idols. Uh, Other than him, the rest of us are rerolls, decoms, or in my case, both. And the point is, if we're all 5 cities, I mean, 5 cities, 4 or 5 cities is the sweet spot for rating and actives. You're going to make 100 million a week, no problem. And with all of us at 5C, close and score, we can all counter for each other. So it not only reduces the threat window, as far as how many nations can declare on us, but it makes us much better able to defend ourselves against anybody declaring on us.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's a good strat.
Seems to be working pretty good so far. But I mean, so far we've just faced some random noobs, but the principle stands.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Greene tried to force merge you guys into his alliance, 770 or whatever. Give the full story on this as you remember it. Oh,
Well, I made a forum post last week about it with a bunch of screenshots laying out how it all went down. Like I said, one of our members was in there and told him that she was going to be leaving a few days before we actually formed the alliance. And he acted like it was all good. He understood and everything when he got turned down on the merger. And then the day after we formed the alliance, all of a sudden we've got a bunch of 770 noobs attacking us. So we just kind of had to roll them. Started erasing cities eventually. Then they quit. We reverse Uno rolled an alliance 10 times our size. It's kind of funny.
yeah. So, what's the status of the conflict now between you guys and 770? Did y'all finally wipe peace out or what?
Well, no. Greene said that he had given the stand down order, but then he went and sent another guy at our youngest and smallest member who nobody could counter for, who is actually soundly kicking the incoming Raiders' ass, which is pretty funny because he just started. Um, and so I responded in kind. I'm currently rating the highest score member of 770 that I could reach, and I'm soundly kicking his ass. Now, it's not the membership's fault of 770 that Greene is putting them through this. So I'm not going to be using nukes on this guy unless he missiles me first. But it's tit for tat at this point. He sent a raider. Okay, I'm going to raid one of theirs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, I think that's all the questions that I have. Shifty, what do you think about all this? Oop, did Shifty leave? Oh, I guess he left. Oh, he's still there. He's just busy, I think. All right. So, um, I think that's all. That's all the questions that I have, Cthulhu. Anything else you want to say?
Yes, if you're going to try to force merge an alliance of re-rolls and decoms, number one, it's probably not going to work. Number two, don't lie to it. Don't lie about it, especially to your own government, and get busted out publicly and get laughed at by everybody in Orbis.
Why do you think he targeted you guys? Do you think he thought maybe you guys were just too small and that just an easy target?
That plus the only three halfway decent members that he had are now in DEFCON 5.
Oh, sorry, just reading the thread.
And who would those people be? Who would those three people be, Cthulhu?
The nations are Sugar and Spice. Those are the other two. Let's see, Sugar and Spice. Then there's New Balance, and then there's the other one. Damn it. Okay, Sugar and Spice, New Balance, and God damn, I always keep forgetting this name. Hold on 1 second.
I think Jova here just posted it. Bonk Bonkistan.
Oh yeah, Bronkistan. Yeah.
Is Jova also in DEFCON 5?
Jova's my 2IC, yeah.
Gotcha. All right, and I think that's it. Thank you so much, Cthulhu, for coming on. And that was a good entrance you made to the show. That was pretty funny. Um, I was supposed to have another guy
Thanks.
on tonight named Ronnie D, and he made his second appearance on this show in a very similar way. He was playing, gosh, what song was he playing? It was something funny, but he made his entrance doing the same things while playing a song and like yelling and being real loud and stuff. It was funny. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Cthulhu.
I
Any
wasn't
last
actually
words?
playing a song. I just, did it real quick, like one of these. Oh, the volume ain't up. Did one of these.
All right. Well, I'm about ready to close up the show. Cthulhu, anything else you want to say?
Stay tuned for the Bitches Brew, because it's going to be the Bitches Brew. You all are going to lose your minds over it.
Oh, fuck, buddy. The bitches brew.
Bruh.
That sounds intense. Thank you so much, Cthulhu. I'm going to mute you now.
No problem.
All right. So, think that's it. It's 10:30. I blew through my topics. We talked about Camelot. Epi is now named Guatemala, by the way. I think. Yeah. If you are a Spanish-speaking country, Epi will name himself after you.
Watermelon. You call Guatemalans watermelons. That's what we do.
Did I? Well, that's. All right. So, final call: politics and war, real life topics. Any final things I need to cover?
Did you talk about the ghost?
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
We talked about the ghost.
Fuck, I miss a ghost.
Nobody knows what that shit is. Nobody knows what it is. In fact, I know what to do. I'm gonna ask Cthulhu what he thinks about the ghost. Hold on.
It looks like it's a Jersey Devil, man.
Cthulhu, I unmuted you. I found a creepy video on the internet, and I want your opinion on what it is, okay?
Okay.
Now, this was taken from a Facebook live stream, so I think it's really hard to fake. I'm gonna post the GIF. I posted the GIF. What do you think this thing is in the GIF that's hopping around behind the streetlight?
One moment. Let me look at it a few times.
Yeah, that's fine. It's like not even a second long, and it loops pretty well.
That's somebody running by with real Greene resolution.
You think it's just someone running around like a crackhead?
I don't know about a random crackhead. It was probably set up, but it wouldn't be hard to do that, really. I mean, I could make something like that
Gotcha.
Sony Vegas Pro in minutes, probably.
Mhm. All right. So, thank you, Cthulhu. I'm gonna mute you again.
No problem.
All right. So, we talked about the ghost. One more time, final call. It could be a real life thing, politics and war thing. I'll give a hot take on it. Kills Bob is in debt. Well, pay off your debt, Kills Bob. Scripture says that if you owe a debt to a person, he owns you. So pay your debt. Is Jockey defaulted on a lot? Well, and he's going rogue. That's what you should do. This is life advice. You should take on a lot of debt and then commit a bunch of crime, especially against banks. That is Jockey is doing exactly what a person should do. Um, and Bernie said something. Bernie said, quite odd how the video is low quality. It's from a Facebook live stream of someone who lives in rural Florida. So it's like, come on, what do you expect?
I mean, when I do video chat, it's usually high quality. You guys gotta invest in iPhones.
And Cthulhu wants to say one more thing. I will let him speak. Cthulhu, you are unmuted once again.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to give a big shout out to my government. They're great. They're really a help. They're indispensable. Jova, you're great. Fairy Breadman, you're great. Virtue, you're great. Cinnamon, you're great. I can't do it without them. They're great.
No king rules alone. Every king needs his helpers. And I think that's it. I think I'm done. I'm out of topics. Nobody's giving any more topics. I flapped my gums for
They're
over
great.
100. Oh fuck yeah! Oh man. We gotta get a list of things we want
Oh,
Cthulhu to say.
oh man.
Yep, it's time to play the theme. Okay, Cthulhu, you can do it one more time if you want.
They're great.
Oh yeah. All right. Yep. We're done. Michael Jordan, play the theme, and then we are done.